Hello everyone, this is White Wolf and we are going live, and I just wanted to touch upon a message that I was writing down on my Instagram posts, and really just knowing that the seeking impulse drives everything that we do. It allows us to learn, it allows us to develop, it allows us to always be in the search of what we need to do and what we need to generate to have a big impact not only in our lives but into others' lives, but also understanding that the seeking impulse will always be what drives you, what gives you that impulse, what allows you to remind yourself of what you need to work on and what you need to do and what you need to co-create inside of the matrix that you are, and knowing that you are the illusion of everything, that you're the illusion of God, you're the expression of God, you are the vibrations of God, and you are the direct source and the direct correlation of the source codes. So understanding that you are those source codes, you are that manifestation of life, you are that divinity inside of yourself, and you are the illusion that you're creating, and that you're the matrix that you're creating inside of yourself. But also, it's not controlling your life, it's not trying to find out all the details, how it's going to manifest, how it's supposed to generate within your life. It's not trying to control your life, but it's allowing yourself to let go of control and allow the divinity to align to. So understanding that we are the seeking impulse. We are what is driving this point home, this understanding, this ability to really just develop and to learn and to figure things out and to work out all the quirks and work out everything into a certain calibration that allows us to recalibrate everything, our frequency, our inability to really cope or think or just how do I want to do it, and things of that nature. So it just kind of primes that impulse inside of you to know, okay, I can go for the things that I want to go with, but I have to do it without hesitation. I have to do it with the right thinking. I have to do it with not trying to figure everything out and try to control everything and let go of control, because that's being based by fear. And then when we're not based by fear, and we're not based by the things that hold us back, and we're not based in the things that are trying to not allow us to progress, because then we have a seeking impulse that's not the alignment that you're seeking, the drive, the impulse, the inspirations. Also, let me know if the internet connection is good, guys. I might have to restart this. So just let me know if the internet connection is good. I really, really appreciate it. This is White Wolf. I hope you guys are doing wonderful on this Sunday, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. It is a heat index of 110 out here, but I felt inclined to do this message because I think a lot of people feel like they have to try to source of creation to flow through you, and allowing yourself to really channel that embodiment within yourself, knowing yourself, and blending that with true spirituality, with that true abundance inside of yourself, and having that understanding that I can do the things that I want to do, but I can allow myself to give myself permission that I can't as you make it. It's the illusion is as real as you can make it. So let me know if the internet connection's good, guys, because it keeps showing me that red dot and it's letting me know if it's glitchy or not. So I really appreciate it if you guys would let me know. If I have to restart this, I'll just do that. But I think the understanding of really encouraging yourself and empowering yourself is really the motivation of the seeking impulse at the core of everything that you do. So everything that you do is a sense of wanting to drive an impulse, drive what is seeking, and what is the inspiration or the intention or the energy behind what you are doing and what you're professing. And also changing your vocabulary, changing your identity, changing what you identify with, what you're assuming. And also being able to see the resolution within problems. And it allows you to solve so many different things, and it allows you to find that resolve and find where you need to place your energy, where you need to place your time, where you need to give your time and your energy and everything towards everything that you're doing. So it just allows you to give yourself a vantage point and a map of creating so deliberately, and being deliberate with your energy and being intentional and using it as a way of emitting that frequency, and knowing that every time that you tap into that frequency, another frequency is accessed. So you're just accessing so many different truths, so many different depictions and pictures and sounds and energies that are allowing you to really delve deep within the self. So every time that you do that, every time that you fine-tune what you really want and what you really desire, it will not only change the way that you view your life, the way that you view yourself, the way that you go about life, and the way that you go about your filter, and the way that you think, and the way that you perceive, and the way that you act, and also the way that you carry yourself and everything. The illusion is what you make it. A matrix is the matrix inside of yourself. Seeing through the biggest illusion is seeing God within yourself and within everything as a representation and an extension of God's source energy. So what's amazing about this is that it really allows you to always look for something new in your life. It always allows you to find something to live for, something to laugh about, something to be inspired about, but also something to learn about and teach yourself and guide yourself through so many different waves of life and different configurations of relationships and healing past trauma, and just leaving it up to not just fate, but your faith. Because that's the misconception that human beings do. They just leave it up to fate, and then they don't pursue that, or they're withholding something from themselves, or they're not allowing the flow of energy to allow them to really change their life and fine-tune what they need to go about, because they're leaving it to fate. But having the faith and just going for it and not second-guessing yourself or having that hesitation or that doubt or that misidentification of how you're feeling, because it's not based on how you feel, because you could feel very tired and very drained for one moment, and then the next 5 minutes you absolutely feel alive and you're ready to go and your motor's running and everything's kind of fluctuating the way that it needs to. That's what happens when we do meditation. It gets us right back into our center. It gets us back into the driver's seat. So now we're back into the driver's seat, and now we're back into where we need to become more well-versed in what we want to do in the specific configuration of energy. So if you find that specific configuration, if you find that sweet spot within yourself, every time that you do that, you are literally transcending the entire conditioning of the human conditioning. So not being conditioned by how you think, how you feel, what you're watching, and really just flipping the script and changing it and knowing that you have power over it. The illusion is what you make it. The illusion is the illusion. It is the matrix. Everything that you pursue and everything that you're delving deep within is knowing that it is the matrix fully realized. So the matrix is wanting you to awaken to it, not you awakening to the illusion, because you were already in the illusion before you knew about it, right? I know that might sound ridiculous to some, but it's true. You are already in the illusion before you awaken to the illusion, but you have to awaken to your own illusion and create from that vantage point. Create the way that you create, and create in such a deliberate way that it really changes the entire course and the overview of your spiritual journey, so that you can come full circle with everything. So it allows you to really come full circle. There's a lot of people that say in their lives that they come full circle, but it's coming from an egoic state, but it's coming from a state of having more years over a person, or being well trained in this thing, or being more masculine or feminine. But it has nothing to do with that, but it's really just being yourself and being authentic and really generating that illusion, but channeling it really fluently and channeling what you need to bring forth within this creation. And like I said, the biggest illusion to see through, and I've said this millions of times, is to see source within yourself and within everything that is around you, so that it changes your personality, it changes your intention, it changes the way that you wake up in the morning, it changes the way that you meditate, and it gives you that sense of that angelic presence. An angelic presence is not acting exalted, it's not acting enlightened, it's not wearing something that makes you more enlightened. But enlightenment is really just being yourself. It could be a person in a hat and a t-shirt and a necklace and beads. It doesn't have to be someone who's wearing, those, how some people wear those, and that's their thing, but it's just being yourself. It's generating the illusion that you are. The illusion is you, and you have to become it. So allowing to the thought process and the emotions that changes the polarity of positive and negative. and see how you can easily see yourself as a reality that is more parallel and more in sync with yourself. You are the alignment, the source, and the absolute reality that you're trying to seek within yourself. And when you push past the barrier of not wanting to be put in a category or a box or narrowed down, your focus is not narrow anymore. So because that your focus is not so narrow, and it's not just here, but it's more open and spacious, and there is some depth there. So if there's some depth and you just continuously open it up, and it could be like this, but the next day it's like this, and then it just kind of widens and it becomes more spacious, and then you're able to really receive more within yourself, because reality and organisms change all the time. Our service is our service. So if we always have this service within ourselves, then we are really understanding that we are of service to the one. We have to develop our skills. We have to develop the way to manifest. We have to develop the way to generate and the way to profess this prophecy that we're on, because everybody is a prophet on this earth plane, and we are professing what we desire and what we want to bring forth and what we want to channel. So really living your life at the fullest is not trying to figure out all the details. It's not trying to force your life. It's not trying to control your life, control the circumstances, but trying to develop different ways to experience them and interact with them and become them, if you will. So if you're wanting to become the illusion, you have to see through the deception that you're just awakening to the illusion. You've already were the illusion before you awaken to it. And that's the biggest, that's the biggest misconception. I think it was like, yeah, we all awaken up to the illusion, but now we're more aware of it. There's a difference. You're more aware of the illusion that's now present, but then you get to perfect it, and you get to change it, and you get to find out how it works for you and how it revamps and reshapes and encapsulates your energy, even if the ants are biting me. So also, guys, that was my opener for this live. So I know that was a lot, but I wanted to let you guys know that I do private sessions for 1 hour psychic readings, healings, activations, 1 hour for $70, $60 for an hour for healing, activation codes, downloads, and 30 minutes for $40. So text me on Instagram, whitewolf4741, and YouTube, whitewolftheoracle, Facebook, Jacob Wolf. Please refer to me as White Wolf. So those are places that you can find me. But the biggest way that you can always drive the learning, the teaching, the delving deep within yourself is seeking. Seek to the point where it doesn't have to generate a source of excitement for it. Seek to the point where it seems like you're not trying to do it. And always want more out of yourself, and do not expect from others, because we can't expect other people to fulfill us. We have to be fulfilled. So we can't use people as our doormats. We can't use objects as a way of making an excuse. And we can't make accusations about not being there yet, not being this and not being that. But when we allow ourselves to just kind of like say, fuck it, I'm going to live my life no matter what happens. I'm going to be myself no matter what transpires. I'm going to go with life with the intensity, with the progression, with the empowerment within myself to just say that I'm going to revamp and change everything that I'm experiencing and how I'm reacting to it and how I'm being proactive about it. And literally, if I am the illusion that I'm seeking within myself, then that means I have to see through the deception of just waking up to the illusion, but just progressing within my own illusion. And we're all deluded, but pick our own delusions, right? We all have to be in our own world. We all have to use our imagination like we're children. Because children know, and children are the greatest indicator if someone is... Your child knows when someone is in your house and they are just kind of full of it, right? Or they just know if they don't like something because they say it. And they know if they want something, they're like, yeah, I point at the Barbie doll right there. And they know that they want that Barbie doll. They don't care what price tag is on it. It could be 20 or 30 bucks. And you're, as the adult, like kind of feeling into that negativeness, like, oh God, it's $30 for that Barbie doll, but the kid does not give a shit. The kid does not care, because the kid wants the abundance and the fun and the loveliness of the doll, right? Because it's not it's the image and the vision that it gives themselves, right? So if we can give ourselves that imagination and that image and that loving spirit all the time, we can't always look at all the things that we don't have. We can't look at everything like a loss or everything like a failure. And I'm not saying just to be overly positive either, because you can't just love and light your way out of stuff, but there needs to be a fine balance. There is never losing, because you can always find a way to look at how you benefited from like catalysts, from circumstances, from situations within your life. You can always find out how you benefited from getting out of that relationship. Like, I know that I benefited from losing 2 people in my life. And while it was painful at the time, and when I lost them, I didn't know how to, at the time, live without them. I didn't know how to breathe without them. But I learned that they became one of my guides, and they became of a source of assistance. And I realized that they never left me. They just left me on the physical plane. So we can't always look at everything with the defeated mentality, because once we do that, then we have denounced or denied the oracle of love, light, and wisdom within ourselves. We've denied it completely. And it's realizing that once we look at everything as a way of learning and progressing and delving deep and expanding upon the present moment, then we don't look at it as something negative or a loss or a defeat or the ultimate failure, because I don't believe we ever fail. We just develop and we grow, and then we go from the mess of human life, and then we kind of clean up that mess, and then we kind of make it more tidy. We make it more organized. We furthermore understand that we don't want to live our lives that way, because pain and suffering always gives us teaching. And I know that this live is kind of all over the board, but it's all part of the illusion. But pain and suffering are our greatest teachers. Every time that we have a limiting belief, or every time that we speak something negative over ourselves, it's some form of a miscommunication or a manipulation against ourselves. Think about that for a second. It's a miscommunication, and it's us manipulating ourselves to focus within a hypnotic programming. I know that's a lot to chew, but it's understanding that that hypnotic programming does not represent who we are. So we ditch that programming, we ditch that illusion, we ditch that life that we were living as that person that we assumed ourselves to be. And then we completely let go of that, and we just channel our higher selves. And we channel the wisdom of our guides. We channel the wisdom of the people that are on the other side. And we use that as a way of being God, not trying to be God. But God is the Almighty, and He's already doing His job. But God wants you to see that within yourself, and everything that you do, and everything that you show up to your life as if you're meant to be there. And having that within yourself will always give you the vantage point of wanting to search for more, wanting to delve deep inside of yourself. Always looking inside of your heart, looking at the imperfections, looking at the impurities. And I'm not saying that you have to be holy and thou, but that's not enlightenment, because we all have a dark night of the soul. We all have things that we're not proud of, or things that we handled that you kind of think back and you're like, man, I should have handled that better. But that's regret. And that's not a loving energy. And God doesn't want you to live in regret, or at least how I experience source. And a lot of people can say, I say God source energy because I'm saying that I am a source of energy. Because if you break down that phrasing, God's source energy is I am a source of energy. But some people say God. Some people see God as a woman. Some people see God as nature. But God is diverse. Source is diverse in so many different ways. More ways than one. And it's not judgmental. It's always unconditional love, because love does not have a condition. Love doesn't have a condition. God's not just like, oh, I'm just going to love you on like Monday and Tuesday. That's not how it works. But Source has always loved you and has prepped you and has laid the path before you, the prophecy, and has always loved you the same before you awaken and even after the fact. So Source doesn't decide that you're more worthy just because you weren't awakened. But they've been working behind the scenes before you are aware of the illusion. Think about that. Think about all the things the choices that you made, and you could have made different choices, but this was your life progression. And yes, you can always alter it. You can always alter the timeline, slow time down and speed up time. But all the things that has happened thus far has been a way for you to really aliven yourself and awaken to the divinity and channel from that embodiment. It's so funny, like my drink, my drink like fell over, and for a moment I was like, but I didn't let that ruin my day. For a moment it kind of like was, it was like a shock. But I didn't let the drink tipping over ruin my day. And it's as simple as that. It's like the expression, relationships end over spilled milk. There could be somebody, there could be two people right now that spill milk and they will get into a frenzy. But it does not mean that Source loves them less. Because within our messiness, within integrating and healing and finding the worthiness and finding a reason to live and living up to that reason and showing up to our life as if we're meant to be there, that gives us the fuel and the ammunition and the fire and the passion of desire to keep going, to keep progressing, to not give up, to always allow the illusion and the matrix to flow through you so that you can be empowered to have those breakdowns that turn into breakthroughs. Every single time, it's impactful. I don't care how many times you break down. I don't care if a bulldozer bulldozes you down so many times. It does not mean that you cannot get back up. It doesn't matter what gets in the way. No matter if you get in your own way, there is always grace to get out of your own way. There is grace for us all, always. All the time. It never stops. It is always open, and Source always invites us. Always invites us to let us know that we are his or hers children. So, and it's so funny because we always, as people, we always look at age, we always look at gender, we always look at tall, skinny, fat, and Source doesn't look at that at all. Our angelic guides actually laugh at us because of the things that we focus on, and they just don't focus on because they're in a completely different realm all the time. They just operate at a different scope of consciousness. And as humans, we do that naturally because we're always judging something. We're always judging this, or thinking that we're not good enough, or thinking that we're not meant for this, and we're just leaving it up to fate. But I leave it up to faith, not fate. So I don't leave it up to just, I'm just going to sit here and that's it. Don't ever say that that's it, because it's always about what it could be more. Instead of focusing on what is, it is what it is. But focus on what it could be more, always. because then that's giving you an outlook, and it's giving you a sense of creation within yourself to not look at it from a negative standpoint. That no matter what happens in your life, that the momentum will not stop. Don't ever just stop. Keep seeking, keep going, keep progressing, and always keep challenging yourself to not give up on the creator that's inside of you. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on others. And always see how you can expect more out of yourself always. And my leg is like completely asleep. So if this speech has slowed down a bit, that's why. That's what happens when you sit in the yogi stance a lot. Your legs sleep. So lean into the uncomfortableness. Lean into what seems unsafe. Lean into what seems like you can't make that decision. And then you tell that decision to fuck off, and then you do it. Instead of just like getting into this frenzy inside of yourself, instead of getting into this like conversation with yourself and you talk yourself out of it and you just say no. But then you just say, no, I'm tired of that. I expect more. I want more. Fuck that shit. I want it. I desire it. I crave it. It's everything that I think about. And then that gives you the vantage point of like, okay, just because I tried something a certain way, just because I did it a certain way, does not mean that I can't do it another way. Because you can always do it from another perspective. You can always try it from a different vantage point. You can always look at it from a much different lens. And then everything just starts to change. Everything starts to redirect itself. So always be the redirection of your life. So we're going to be doing some healing energy, guys. I hope you guys are staying tuned in. Also, I want to let you guys know that I do private sessions, 1 hour for $70. So if you're coming into the feed, let me know in the comment sections and things of that nature. But we're not going to be done with the live just yet, but we're going to do some healing energy and some activations and maybe like a meditation wrapped in one. Sometimes when I'm channeling, I say like weird words. I say like words that are like put together. And sometimes it like comes off like really weird when I'm channeling, because every time that I do one of these lives, I'm channeling and things of that nature. So when I'm channeling, I say words that are connected to another word. And it's like, it sounds like really weird. So we're going to be doing some healing energy. Feel into the power of the Kundalini energy, the energy of release, and then the energy of rejuvenation to recalibrate all your chakras and to align to the galactic chakras that are in different realms, different planes, different universes, and different I am presences. Be as soft as the wind. Fate whispers to the warrior, you can't withhold the storm. And then the warrior whispers back to fate, I am the storm. When you say that I am God's source energy, you are saying that you are a genuine source of energy, a genuine source of channel, a genuine source of divinity within yourself. Archangels of love and light, who's willing to cleanse us of our auric field, tapping into God's source energy and the great I am, diving deep into Middle Mother Gaia Earth, northeast, south, and west. Archangel Michael, Gabriel, Sandalphon, Raphael, Mother Mary, Saint Germain is offering psychic protection over us and putting a rainbow energy in the billion-layer protection grid. We're going to clear toxic thought forms, toxic relationships, toxic manifestations. And we're also going to bring forth our own matrix. So this is the new revamped version of ourselves. So we can align and redirect to the new parallel realities, but also we can align to the new prophecies and step into our anointing and step into our divinity within ourselves. Allow yourself to have a heart activation from Jesus, and also allow yourself to ascend 50 levels. Also, we're going to allow ourselves to tap in to the energies of the 12th dimension, the 9th dimension, the 10th dimension, and the 11th dimension as well. And just project whatever you desire, whatever you want, whatever you crave, whatever really excites you in this moment. Just do it, live it, be it, and be fulfilled in that nature. Also activate your psychic abilities. Allow yourselves to channel your higher selves as well. Just say, I accept the higher self's wisdom. I am the higher self. I am the beginning, and I am the never-ending aqua river flow of God's source energy and the great I am. And we're going to activate the gut, the heart, and the mind to develop the Infinity 8 symbol. And have a complete paradigm shift. And we're also going to redirect the emotional guidance system and just really delve deep into the polarity of positive and negative. And we're going to allow the light and the dark to come into balance as well. Tap into the vibrations of God, the sensations of God, and the DNA codes of God's source energy and the great I Am. Also, we're going to heal energy of the past, and past lifetimes as well. That there are no mistakes, there's just happy accidents. We have some unicorns and some Pegasuses coming in, allowing us to channel our energy better and to also stay more grounded and to also really emit a frequency that has not yet been seen. That we are the omnipresence, that we're beyond time and space, that we're positionless, that we are not a physical body, but we are just the energy that shifts, that changes, that migrates, and that unconditionally loves and transforms and transmutes so that we can have the transfiguration of the soul. So everybody take one last deep breath. Exhale. When I clap my hands, you will become the matrix that you're seeking. You will learn how to create from the illusion. You will come into the prophecy. And you'll completely be a revamped, parallel, aligned, and a new version of yourself. The human individuation of God's source energy, which is the oracle of love, light, and wisdom. Now. Okay, so I hope the feed was good the entire time. So I hope that was powerful for you guys. I hope that was very beneficial. And it is so hot in South Carolina. I hope that was very beneficial for you guys. I hope that healing was amazing. It seemed like it was. But also, you guys can book private sessions with me. This is White Wolf. So Cashapp, White Wolf the Oracle. Also, I'm Eastern Time Zone. Find me on Instagram, whitewolf4741. Also, you can find me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and things of that nature. Instagram, whitewolf4741. Facebook, Jacob Wolf. On Facebook, please refer to me as White Wolf. And also YouTube, White Wolf the Oracle. And the thing is, it was so funny because I was looking at a picture of myself like months ago, and I had shorter hair, and I was clean shaven, and now I have a hat and a lot of hair, and I almost look like a mountain man. It was so funny. So much has changed in such little time. How everything can really just change. You can change. You could realize something, and also just completely manifest another version of yourself, and knowing that another version of yourself has made those choices and has done all of those other things that you've done, and also just the different stages of development, the different stages of realization, and also having an allowance, and just seeing it unfold, and seeing like what you manifest, and see how it just keeps continuously manifesting. It's really just amazing. It's really amazing. So I want to give a shout out, guys. Thank you so much. Also, if you see me do my lives on the in the evening, I do live feeds where I do readings, healings, activation codes, downloads for $20. So if you guys want to take part in that and things of that nature. And also I have lives where I do that, and I do $20 donation-based readings, and also private sessions for 1 hour for $70, $60 for healing, activation codes, downloads, and things of that nature, and $30 for 40 minutes. 40 minutes for $30 and things of that nature. So also, don't be afraid to do what you need to do, guys. Don't be afraid to do something new. Don't be afraid to really just always expand what you need to expand upon, and always make everything special, and know that you don't have to control it. You don't have to force it. You don't have to figure everything out at that exact moment, but everything will unfold and progress the way that it needs to be. So thank you guys so much. God bless, and namaste.